Hey guys, it's Mahel here, and today I'm going to be bringing you another video in my Freshers Week 2020 Advice and Guide series. If you haven't already seen it, or if you're new to the channel, then I've already uploaded a series of Freshers videos from last year, as well as a video from this year. So make sure to click the info card in this corner to check those out, but also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and turn post notifications on by clicking the bell below to ensure that you do not miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. My channel tends to feature a lot of juicy information that you won't find anywhere else because I give an honest perspective on university and I don't make it out to be something that it isn't. And 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you want to see information that you will not find anywhere else before anyone else, make sure to subscribe, turn the post notifications on, and you'll get notified as soon as a video comes out. Before we get into today's topic, I'd like to start by thanking Wondershare for sponsoring today's video. Wondershare are the creators of PDF Element, which is an all-in-one PDF editor and reader that can be used for both your professional and educational needs. PDF Element is a cheaper alternative to the likes of Adobe Acrobat and more powerful than Preview on Mac. And well, when something's cheaper, you can't really complain, especially when it offers you all the tools that you need. Some of the key features of the software include being able to create, edit, annotate, and read PDF documents. A key feature that stands out to me is being able to edit over 300 formats and being able to export to any Office format as well as a PDF and more. Additionally, I'm actually a fan of the optical character recognition feature in PDF Element, as it saves you a lot of time. You may have a textbook full of notes that you want to type up, but you think, oh, that's gonna take too long. Instead, what you can do with PDF Element is scan that textbook and then use the optical character recognition feature to actually scan for the text and make it into editable text, which saves you so much time. As for example, you can just copy that text onto another document, or you can even edit and annotate it yourself. If you want a full overview of how PDF Element works and can support both your professional and educational needs, then I will be leaving a Q&A from Wondershare in the description below, so make sure to go ahead and click that link and find out more about PDF Element. For a limited amount of time, you're actually able to save up to 40% off on PDF Element through the Mac App Store, and I'll also be leaving a link to this in the description below. So make sure to check that out, as this is a limited offer and you do not want to miss out. Like I said before, we like it when things are cheap but offers you everything you need. That isn't to say that PDF Element is only available on Mac, as it's available on an array of platforms such as Mac, Windows, iOS, and I believe Android too. So I will be leaving multiple links in the description below. Make sure to go ahead and check those out. There is a free version available. However, if you do purchase PDF Element, the full version, then you will have more features available to you. So you got a choice. You can either go with the free one, or you can take advantage of the up to 40% off sale and get access to all of the features that the software provides. Now that we have the sponsor segment out of the way, let's get into today's topic. As the title says, Freshers 2020 is cancelled. Now, whilst this isn't official, I'm telling you right now that Freshers 2020 is cancelled, and I'm going to be using this video to explain my reasons why. Firstly, when you think of Freshers, what are you really thinking of? Are you thinking of the daytime events such as the Freshers Fair? You're probably not. You're probably thinking about the nighttime clubbing events, because after all, Freshers is heavily focused around party culture. Recently, it was actually announced that all clubs in Ibiza would stay closed until 2021 at the very least, meaning that they will not be open for the rest of the year. Whilst Ibiza is its own island, this news is actually very significant when you consider it and also compare it to the UK, because Ibiza is quite a small island, but at the same time, you get people from all over the world travelling. So when you consider the UK and you consider university, you also have people travelling from all over the world. However, the UK is bigger than Ibiza. So when you consider the fact that the UK is bigger than Ibiza and has people travelling from all over the world, it makes sense that clubs will not be open in September. And especially considering a couple of days ago, Boris Johnson announced that places like barbers and theatres and places like that will be able to open again soon, but didn't say anything regarding nightclubs, gyms and other venues. You have to bear in mind, whilst there are businesses opening up slowly, this is with the provision of expecting and maintaining social distancing. Businesses aren't opening for the sake of it. They are only allowed to open if it is safe to do so. So whilst it's arguable that you could social distance in a hospitality venue such as a pub, as pubs will be opening again from July 9th, I believe it is, you can't really social distance in a club, let's be real. I'm not sure about you, but I can't imagine there's some party animal coming on and you see the girl that you like across the room, 2 meters apart, and you're just social distancing. You'd want to get up and close, let's be real. And that will not happen in a club, especially when there's alcohol involved. People will just throw social distancing out the window. In fact, people don't social distance when they are sober. So when you consider students drunk out of their head in a club, do you really think they will maintain a 1 meter plus distance? They won't. And then when you consider the fact that social distancing needs to be maintained, but there's also people traveling from all over the world. So for example, I think America currently has the highest deaths from coronavirus right now. So you may be spreading the virus in a very dense area. Clubs won't be opening in September. Now, I have used Ibiza as an example for why I think clubs won't be opening in September, but that is not the only example that I'll be using. And the next example I'll be using is actually from my university, the University of Nottingham. It was recently announced by the University of Nottingham that because of the pandemic, there would be no physical assessments in January. And so all assessments would either be coursework based or an online exam. Typically, an exam hall may have anywhere between 100 people to 350 people in it. So when you consider the fact that the university has reviewed its assessment and safety measures and decided that it can't hold exams with social distancing with only 350 people, you probably won't be able to open a club with 1,000 people in it. Not only this, Freshers is in September, and considering January is 4 months after that, do you really think that clubs will be open in September? I don't think so. And I'm also going to explain now why you haven't heard much about this either. I'm no conspiracist, but it doesn't really take a genius to figure out why universities have not said much about freshers at all, because the University of Nottingham, I know, have said that they are working on delivering freshers, but when it comes to the clubbing events like Rock City, Prism, etc., they have not said much. And I'm not talking about just the University of Nottingham, this is actually all universities. I believe that freshers won't be a thing physically in September, and you'll probably have virtual events such as a virtual freshers fair. The clubbing aspect won't be a thing, but you might have like Zoom calls and stuff like that. But when it comes to going out to themed club nights, I don't think it will happen in September. This is especially considering whilst the University of Nottingham and Nottingham Trent University are opening in September for blended teaching, Aston University, for example, which is a smaller university, I think it's actually got about a third of the students of both the University of Nottingham and Nottingham Trent University. If they aren't opening till January, despite being much smaller in student numbers, then you got to consider, is a club really going to open? Is freshers really going to be a thing? And like I said, freshers isn't just about clubbing. Yes, you have the freshers fair and other events, but most people, when they think of freshers, they think of the party environment. I'm going to give a quick honourable mention to YouTuber Ricky Langdale, who last month created a video regarding this topic actually, and I believe he made this topic right after The Guardian published an article titled Forget Freshers Week. Now, I did actually see this article at the time, but there is reasons for why I did not make a video at the time and why I have waited till now to make this video. At the time, there wasn't really much evidence to support a cancellation of Freshers Week. It was literally The Guardian speculating, saying Freshers Week may not happen because universities may not even be open. But since then, universities have come out and given their stance on whether they're going to be open in September or not, with Cambridge being online for the whole year, Nottingham Trent and University of Nottingham being blended teaching from September, and Aston University opening from January, and other universities have said things since that article. Whilst they have said things about whether they will be opening or not, they haven't said much about freshers And like I said, I'm no conspiracist, but this is possibly because if they, at the time, so the article from The Guardian was published in May, I believe, if in May, a few months ahead of university opening in September, they said, yeah, freshers is going to be virtual, there will be no club events, a lot of people would have decided to defer the year, meaning that universities would have lost out on a lot of money for 1 year on tuition fees in an already tight financial situation. Universities are currently struggling across the country. The universities minister has actually come out and said that universities are struggling. So imagine if universities in May, or even now, came out and said, freshers is going to be virtual. A lot of people would decide to defer, meaning that universities for 1 year would lose out on a lot of money in tuition fees and also accommodation fees. So considering what I just said, it makes sense why universities have not said much about freshers at all and why they have only stuck to talking about whether they will be open or not, as well as assessment procedures. The next question you may have is, should I defer for a year? And especially if you're a fresher that's going to be heading to university for the first time in September. My short answer for this is, it depends. The reason I say it depends is because, let's be real, the university experience isn't solely about your degree. It's not solely about studying. It's also got a large social aspect behind it, and a lot of people value the social aspect of university, and it's actually a prime reason for why people go to university instead of, for example, getting a degree apprenticeship or going straight into work. Due to the restrictions, a lot of the social aspect of university will be hampered, and you're probably going to be having more online classes than you are going to have physical ones, with the odd exception of like the seminar here and there. So when you consider the fact that you're going to be having to maintain social distancing within halls, because obviously people traveling from all over the world, you don't really have a bubble to go with, because right now I believe it's 2 households can meet with each other, but obviously in halls you're gonna have to social distance because that breaks the rules. And the fact that you can't even meet people through lectures because you can't physically attend, then it makes it a difficult question whether you should defer for the year or not. It's no secret that the first few months of the next academic year will be difficult in terms of making friends, and whilst it won't be impossible, like I say, it will be more difficult than other years due to the fact that you'll be having less face-to-face meetings with people due to social distancing. Already, if you're a fresher, heading to university in September sounds like a poor decision. However, the reason I said it depends on whether you should defer for the year or not is because you have to consider what you would do for that 1 year instead. And given that the pandemic has crashed the economy and jobs are going to be really hard to secure, it might actually be in your interest to study whilst the economy recovers, so that by the time you're done with your degree, the economy has recovered and you can go get a job straight away. Because I think of it, a degree as damage control in a way. Because let's say I did defer for my 3rd year, what would I do for that 3rd year? It'd be increasingly difficult to get a job. In fact, I applied for an internship, I passed the tests and stuff, and the internship application got cancelled because of the pandemic. So that just goes to show that deferring may not be the best idea, but if you do have a backup plan, maybe you should go for it. But I will also say there is no problem graduating a year older than your friends. So let's say you and your friends are all 18 and they're heading to university and you decide to defer. It's no problem if they graduate university at 21 years old and then you decide to graduate at 22 years old because you deferred for a year. But ultimately, deferring for a year depends on what you expect from the university experience and whether you simply just care about getting your degree and leaving university, or if you want to have a good social aspect as well. As I previously said, I personally won't be deferring my final year, as I just want to get my undergraduate degree out of the way with so that I can go on to a master's. And I'll actually be talking more about that in a future video. So to conclude this video, freshers is most likely to be cancelled, and whilst it isn't confirmed, the reasons I have given make sense for why freshers would be cancelled in September, at least in terms of physical events. Yes, there may be a virtual freshers fair. Yes, there may be like Zoom calls and stuff like that, or like a Facebook live stream to try and mimic clubbing. but I just don't think the clubs will be open in September. And that is my own personal opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think will happen to Freshers Week. That's going to be it for the video, guys and girls. I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope this video has been informative. Once again, I'd like to give an honourable mention to Ricky Langdale. I'll be leaving a link to his video in the description below as well. He's a great YouTuber. I've been watching him for about 7 months now. I came across him randomly, and then I just saw that he uploaded this video, and to be honest, he says it how it is. So make sure to check out his video as well. I'll give credit where it's due, but also, like I said before, I waited to make this video as I believe there wasn't enough evidence back when The Guardian published their article for a cancellation of Freshers, but now I believe there is sufficient evidence. If you did enjoy the video, then make sure to leave a like, comment below, and subscribe, and turn post notifications by clicking the bell below so that you do not miss out on a single video as soon as it goes live. Make sure to follow me on my social media. That's @MahelKhan on TikTok, Snapchat and Instagram, @MahelX on Twitter, and official Mahel Khan on Facebook. Those links will be in the description below. Make sure to follow me on those socials, especially Twitter, by the way. I do post video updates on Twitter. So before making this video, I posted that I would be making this video. So if you want a sneak peek of what videos I will be making, or if you just want to interact with me, Twitter is the one. So @MahelX on Twitter. Once again, the link will be in the description below. Make sure to comment below what you think of Freshers Week, whether it'll go ahead, whether it won't, why, and also what other videos you'd like to see from me regarding Freshers Week 2020 and just Freshers advice in general. And this is with Mahel. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.